Greg?
What's going on, Chris?
How you doing?
Nice to see you. Nice to have you back. Man, that was a lot of clicking between those two transitions. Wow. But without further ado, Chris, we have a lot of things to talk about this evening, uh, event-wise. So we'll just jump right in. A place near and dear to your heart, Chris, is tapping the special Firkin every day of Summerfest at 4 p.m. The first one is Lakefront IPA. I believe
And
that's
Greg, you know
when's the
when that
first
is,
day of
right?
Summerfest? When's the first day
Summerfest
of
starts
summer?
today.
Yeah.
It's happening right
Oh, so
now.
that's
Yeah.
that's today, y'all. Check in with Lakefront's social media. Check in with let's see here. Is this the one? Yeah. Check in with Lakefront social media, but also you can check in with. Let me get to it, Chris. Wow, we got a lot going on here. Where is it? Oh yeah, check in with a thing near and dear to Chris's heart too. Check to Milwaukee Magazine, y'all, where they have the 14 beer events this weekend. But also, that's where I found that Lakefront was having a Firkin every day, and each
Yep.
Firkin is listed
Every week you can
right
find what's
there.
going on in Metro Milwaukee right on our
Not
website,
only every week,
milwaukeemag.com.
but absolutely, and specifically with this Lakefront Firkins. Man, I love Firkins, so I had to
Mm-hmm.
highlight that one. I couldn't let that one slip at all, even though I probably won't taste any of the Firkins.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a shame.
It is, and I just wanted you to acknowledge that. So, as long as you did, we're good. So, we have Ray's Green has a pop up beer garden, Chris. That will be tomorrow from
Yeah.
6 to 11. Is this someplace that you've ever been, Chris?
I have not been to Nagawaki Park, but there are pop-ups. There are brewery pop-ups. Well, they used to be all over. Like basically every little town park had a like out in the burbs had a beer garden, and that was kind of like sponsored by a different brewery. Often in Milwaukee, sometimes out in the burbs or whatever. But lately, actually, there was a story. The Journal Sentinel had a story just, I think it was today or yesterday, about the challenges that of the implementation of that new brewery beer, the three-tier law, basically that we've talked about quite a bit. And our guy Ron from Amorphic, he called this one out and said, that this central it basically the law centralizes and also gives local authorities centralizes these permits that allow these kinds of things. They're called the like +1 permit, basically, where so if you have a brewery, you can have like a beer permit or a license, a liquor license, essentially, that allows you to do sell beer at another site. And a lot of breweries were using them for this purpose. And I
Mm-hmm.
know I backed news into the event segment, Greg. you know
Mm-hmm.
how I was gonna
Mm-hmm.
do that. But
Mm-hmm.
the story pointed out some of the challenges that these breweries have been having with this new regime. And there are a few breweries, including
Yes.
1840
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of other ones, that are saying that they have not been doing as many events like this, like these pop-up beer gardens and park beer gardens and stuff like that, because they haven't been able to get the right approvals. So kind of a bummer, but I think it'll get ironed out. But this, because it just was implemented I think May 1st or May, yeah, I think May 1st was the first day that it was in effect. So that's not a lot of time for these kind of spring summer events. So yeah, but Race
No,
Green, they
but
got their shit together in time to go out to Nagawaki, which is a nice. I haven't been, but I know that this is a really nice park.
yes, and luckily, y'all are in Milwaukee, the best place outside of the best beer garden city in America. I will go out and say, y'all can prove me wrong. Prove me
I
wrong.
actually
Please
wrote
prove
something
me
about
wrong.
that in our June issue
But
that I'll tell you about later.
yeah, right. So y'all are in a good place to weather the storm, if that makes sense. So
Right on.
I'm going to weather the storm, I think, because it's going to be stormy on Saturday, and head over to the Herbery's Trap Taproom here in Madison for the first anniversary weekend extravaganza. Thanks, Joel, for the shout out for that. He just recently visited them, and he'll probably want to tell us about that in the last call. We'll see. He's got other things to tell us, though, too. But the Herbery is going to have a bunch of things going on, Chris, starting tomorrow. Looks like they got some music coming in, like, the normal anniversary celebrations. We got some DIY tie-dye. And Herbery is one of the only breweries that I know of that does not use any hops in their beer.
That's their deal.
And Joel was really intrigued by that. And now that I set him up, he's probably going to definitely want to say something about it in last call. So stay tuned for that, y'all. And stay tuned. I think I'm going to be heading over there on Saturday after a bread making course. Chris?
Bread? That's a different kind of yeast, Greg.
Yeah, but it's fermenting.
It's not brewer's yeast. It's baker's yeast.
All those things. Yeah, it's science, nice. And I don't know. It'll be fun.
Nice.
Kind of. I'm bored and I need a little bit of a test. So let's go make some bread. So also on Saturday, unfortunately, and the only reason it's unfortunate is because Chris and I will not be there this year.
I know. This has been one of my favorite events the last several years. And this is I was kind of excited because this is going to be a new version of Lager and Friends. They are bringing it home basically. Gathering Place in River West is the has kind of been the coordinating. They've been the brewery that puts this on every year. And this year they're bringing it home. They're going to have it it's basically going to be a big block party right outside their brewery on Vienna Street there. And they'll have tables and booths set up for all the participating breweries. I think there's 20 breweries. Obviously all focused on all focused on lagers. It's always been a great event to see kind of the range. People think about lagers and they think, it's going to be a pale, a pale fizzy beer, and Doppelbocks and Schwartz beers and Rauch beers, and so many different ways to use lager yeast and create something interesting and unique within this kind of great family of styles. I'll say too that it is like a beer festival. Certainly there are there's always a great Helles or Pilsner or something like that, but these breweries are bringing they're bringing some wild stuff. So it still does have that kind of festival vibe to it. Saturday at Gathering Place. You can get there. I think Lager and Friends is lagerandfriends.com is the website. So, and I can't make it. I'm going up north for a really special birthday party. So, as soon as I saw the date for it, I was like, oh no. So.
Yeah, or you can find it on gatheringplace.com too, probably. So, all that. It'll be fun because it's just a fun, really, really laid back, fun one.
Lager people are cool, are good beer people. They're the right beer people. This is one of the best crowds of any beer festival that I've been to.
Yeah, and lagers are sessionable too. Then it's one of those nicely paced days. Landon wants us to know that lager people really are the best, as opposed to ale people.
The ale people.
Apparently get on Landon's nerves or something. I don't know. Maybe he can expand in the last call.
Don't tell him I'm drinking an IPA right now.
Yeah. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. So, Chris, here's one that every year it pops up, and we always ask if it's you who are behind it. The Beer Baron Cemetery Walk.
This is a cool one. They do this. They actually do this a couple times a year up in Green Bay. It's a bunch of breweries get together and they literally do a tour through the historic cemetery in I think it's in Green Bay. It's at
Yeah, it says Brown County there.
It's at what's the name of the cemetery though? Oh, it's
Oh,
not
the
on the next slide
cemetery.
either. But
Yeah.
the local I think it's the local brew homebrew club does a walking tour where you get to go through and see all these different the grave sites of um, uh,
The beer barons, right? Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And you kind of learn about the long brewing history in Brown County,
Mm-hmm.
and there's obviously
Mm-hmm.
beers included. So, yeah,
Yeah.
walking tour, and it's happening uh, this Saturday, and but there's a bunch of other dates later this summer and this fall. So nice. I think that's a cool event. Back in my shout out Brown County, Green Bay,
Yeah, and
born and bred.
Leave your Ouija boards at home for that.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
don't talk. We don't want to talk
oh,
about.
oh,
We
yeah,
don't
here it
want to talk
is.
about the ghosts or anything too much.
No, no, no. Nor do we want to try to interact with them. And I wouldn't know from experience. I'm just saying. Anyway, Chris, uh,
Yeah.
we have we have the Cheers Fest here that is put on by Third Space. Food, beer, DJs, live art, drag show, warning, um, activities, community. Looks like a fun pride. It looks like it basically looks like Third Space's Pride celebration. So good for that. And that's this Saturday, 1 p.m. to 5. So if you don't go to Lager and Friends, you have this. So
Yeah, and I'll just say
Milwaukee.
that Third Space has they do like a monthly charity where they partner with they have a special beer just for this not just for this event, but they put out a special pride related beer this month, and donating proceeds from the sales of that to the Milwaukee LGBT Community Center, which is a really nice organization. And
Mm-hmm.
they do this every month with a different organization. They've done stuff
Mm-hmm.
for they've done fundraising for homeless outreach stuff, housing issues, pet stuff, like pet adoption, all kinds of great things.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. It's a nice community dimension to what Third Space does.
It sounds like a lot that Delta Beer Lab out here does.
Hmm.
Really good things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would check their website, y'all, for more information. But here's what I got. Or actually, I got this off Facebook. So if you're a Facebook fan, you should be able to find that there. So yeah, Chris. So moving right along. We have there's some beer Olympics on Saturday too. I mean, there's just so much happening during these weekends, Chris. You miss
Big
one
Saturday.
weekend and you miss like everything. But Beer Olympics is over at Enlightened Brewing. It's a $50 fundraiser. The grand prize is a $50 gift card. My bad. Registration is 25 per team. The fundraiser is for the Wauwatosa Curling Club. Chris, have you ever curled?
I have not curled, and I really want to. I've
You
got a
should.
bunch of
It's fun.
friends who curl, and
It's fun.
this is out in Madison, and shout out
Mm-hmm.
Todd, Johnny. But yeah, I have not curled. I really want to.
Oh,
I
you
feel like
should
it would be a
introduce me
good
to your
use
curling friends.
of my like high skill, like high fine motor skill, but low athletic ability.
Yes, and it's fun. It's really fun. They push camaraderie and having beers and all that.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just really it's really fun. It's really cool team sport. And yeah, it's actually really athletic too, Chris. So you might want to buck up a little bit before you get
What,
out there.
these little chicken
Um,
wings aren't going to do it?
Oh, they might. I mean, they might get it done. So you get two teams that compete in 4 games. Competition bracket. It's this whole bracket they got going on, y'all. And the grand prize winner wins a $50 card to go drink at Enlighten. So that should be fun. There's a 50-50 raffle. It looks like there's all kinds of things going on. So this is Saturday, y'all, at Enlighten Brewing. So if you're a curling fan or you want to support the cause, that's another place for you on
Yeah, and I
Saturday.
was just going to shout out Enlightened Brewing, but I also realized that I can wait till the next
Yeah.
item because they've got their summer block party next Saturday, the 29th.
Yeah.
I've been at Enlighten a couple times this spring slash summer, including last night where we had our Milwaukee Magazine Top Chef watch party there for the second time, and it was awesome. Those Tommy and James are great, really really good hosts. It's such a fun space. It's really open and it's big and it's open, high ceilings. Feels super comfortable in there, and yeah, but this will be outside in the street in front. They've got all kinds of stuff lined up with Sweet Smoke Barbecue, which if anybody knows the food trucks around Milwaukee, Sweet Smoke is one of the great ones, and all kinds of extras, including Joy Ice Cream Social from out here where I'm at in Tosa. Great ice cream, and they've got music like starting at 5 and into the evening, and 3 new beers, which Enlightened is they're not a brewery that does a ton of like iteration. They just kind of dial in the beers that they have, and they're very, like Landon talked about with Nanak being really leaning towards sessionability. That is totally Enlightened's approach too. So 3 new beers from Enlightened is pretty exciting. So we'll see what they haven't announced what those are yet, but that's exciting. And we talked about the changes in brewery taproom offerings under this new law. They are one that has wine, cider, and canned cocktails now, and there was a lot of people drinking that stuff at our event last night. So it was cool to see, that working for people and probably getting some extra sales in the door. So, bring the kids, bring the dogs. Don't hide your kids. Don't hide your dogs. Bring your kids. Bring your dogs.
And bring your dogs. Absolutely.
There you
go. I think you could bring your kids and your dogs to this one. Catfish, craft, beer, wine, hard cider on the river, yo. Shout out to Landon for this one because I wouldn't have caught this one. Get it? You see what I did there?
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah.
Forget it. If you have to tell everybody the joke, then it wasn't. It's great.
I'm here for it, Greg. I think it was good.
Okay.
Where is this thing? Okay. Is this in Trempolo?
Yeah, this is in does it say here? The hell? Does it say here?
It's benefiting the Trempolo Lions, so.
Yeah, it's on yep. How do you Trempolo? Really?
Trempolo.
That's how you spell that?
Trempolo.
Yeah, I like that.
It's French.
Yeah, it's on the Mississippi River somewhere, Chris. We've narrowed it down to 400.
But Greg, that's we can't send people to Potosi when they need to go to Trempolo, Greg. That's not good.
This is true. But Potosi would be great with the museum and the bird.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying don't go to Potosi. I'm just saying don't go to Potosi if you want to go to, Catfish Days here. Catfish and Craft.
Yeah. I've never heard of this, but it looks like 3 hours of unlimited beer. Here we go, wine, cider, and they got live music. Sounds like the norm, but you're gonna be sitting out there on the river, so that should be nice. It should be cooler, and everybody loves being near the water in the summer, Chris. There's no other.
Yes, confirmed. Sportsman's Park is in Trempolo, Wisconsin, which is
Trempolo. Yep.
In Trempolo County, kind of the mid Mississippi coast of Wisconsin there.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. All proceeds go to the Trempolo Lions, who turn right around and give it back to the community, which is great. But I like some of these the benefits of suffering. Ramp building for those unable to access their homes. Use sports programs in need of equipment, travel funds. So this is, you're basically paying into the community, and that's always a good thing, right, Chris?
It is a good thing. We like it.
Yep. So
you know what else we like, Greg?
What? Let's hear it.
Ribs. I like ribs. Shatek. That's up northwest. We got the Brew and Rib Fest. This is now we're jumping ahead here. We missed a weekend in here.
Yeah.
But
we're in July now.
We were surprised. We were surprised there weren't quite as many little festivals and stuff that we could find in Wisconsin this summer. But
Well,
we
well,
got Chautauqua Brew and Rib Fest, which is
yeah.
nice. That's
Well,
July 13th.
I think what happened, Chris, is though one of the things is that like it seems like there's a lot of things the next 2 weekends. There's clearly a
Yeah.
lot this weekend,
Yep.
and then the
Hmm.
weekend after that is July 4th weekend.
It's the
So maybe
fourth.
the
Yeah.
breweries were
So
like, we're gonna chill
yep.
on that weekend and not really do anything. And now we will go right back. Right after July 4th weekend will be this weekend, or the weekend
Yep.
after. We're getting back into it, and we're gonna have a rib fest here, y'all, which sounds amazing.
Yeah, so
You can expect.
this looks like your standard beer festival deal. You got your sampling mug, you got brewers, you got live music from the Jerry Way band. That's you get, if you don't really if you don't have if Jerry Way's not there, it's not even really a beer festival, is it? And then the
Mhm.
key factor is the rib tasting.
Mhm.
So
I
that's
think there's
nice.
going to be 4 different barbecuers. I think they said
Okay.
there, maybe six, four, something like that. So you'll have a nice sampling of some different kind, maybe some different sauces, and yeah, maybe you'll have pork and beef. I mean, there's
Yeah,
nothing
I
really
mean,
more to say about this
I'm sold.
actually.
Beer and
Yeah,
ribs.
if you're close, I don't know, what you're doing. So here's a full, here's what we talk about Milwaukee magazines every week. Y'all put out a wonderful list for Milwaukee only, y'all. So if y'all living in Milwaukee or you're traveling to Milwaukee for the weekend, like I love to do for beer, this is really your go-to stop to find pretty much everything that's going on per weekend, right, Chris?
That's the good stuff.
Absolutely. So we're going to some things we wanted to highlight on the horizon, y'all.
Don't
Not
forget,
necessarily this year, but
we
something we
recognize
want y'all to
that
book.
you're not necessarily going to like hear this on a Wednesday or in this case a Thursday, and then like jump out and go like, oh, I'm going to go to that beer festival on Saturday.
Right.
People's schedules book up here, so we want to give you a little
Schedules
bit
book up.
more, a little bit of advance warning on what's the good stuff that's coming up.
Yeah, and that looks like a Wisconsin prairie there. I like that. It's nice. Puts me in that mood. The Malt City Brew Fest. Chris, you familiar with this one?
I have not been to this one, but I do you know why Manitowoc is Malt City?
No.
Their Brees Malting has
Oh,
it's got to be the
there we
biggest
go.
building in Manitowoc. They've got a huge malting facility. I think it's right downtown, and I guess it used to be I think it used to be a Budweiser, like a in-house Budweiser thing. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm kind of spitballing from memory here. But this is going to have 30 craft breweries, music, food trucks, and more downtown Manitowoc.
Yes.
Hopefully, it'll be cooler by the lake, July 27th. Could be a little muggy.
Could be a little muggy. Put a bookmark that, save that date, y'all. It's coming up. You might want to look into tickets. We'll probably talk about it a little bit more next month, so we won't stay on it too hard. And then we have the Milwaukee Beer Fest. I'm sorry, the 14th annual Milwaukee Beer Fest, which I'm sure has some idea about.
Yeah, this one's right downtown on the lakefront in McKinley Park. Same weekend, Saturday, July 27th. They've got the VIP deal. They've got, this is a nice setting. We talk about the Great Taste being like the best setting for a beer festival in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say this. I mean, this is not better than that because it's a little open. It doesn't have the shade that I mean, plus it's a Great Taste. But Milwaukee Brew Fest, very very solid. And
Mm-hmm.
the nice part is that when you get done, downtown Milwaukee's right there, the lakefront's right there, so you got a lot to do after when you get out at
Nice.
6 o'clock or whatever it is. So yeah, nice event.
Yeah. And then here's a quick overview: 75 and 95 for general and VIP. Looks like you can see the tickets are on sale right now, y'all. So yeah, look into those, but those are a little bit further out. But you need to save the date because the
And
weekends.
Greg,
You know.
we would be remiss if we did not mention the brew the festival that we just mentioned, the Great Taste.
Oh,
What is the date? What
but
is the
that's
date
not
on
until
that?
August.
Well, I know, but
August
like if you're saving dates, you got to save
11th.
that one. That
Well,
is
you've already saved
August
it
10th.
because you better have your tickets already. No,
Now, see,
yeah,
I know people say that,
you know
but
what I'm saying.
you can just go. I think you can just go these days.
Yeah,
If you don't have tickets to the Great Taste, I think you can
call
just
me,
go get them that
or you
day.
can call me. I can get you.
Go the night
Or you can call me.
before. Go to the
Hit me up.
Great Taste Eve events. You can find them. Just get your hotel room. That's
Yeah,
the hard part.
and Chris, and that. Let's
It's,
go. Do
it's
it,
the
man.
Patrick Bear events for June 2024.
Thank you.